How do we change the conversation in the UK about Brexit? At the moment, the tone is very negative. Can that be changed, or is the tone reflective of reality?
No, I think they do need to change the conversation. At the moment, they're far too defensive. The narrative is all about what the UK should do. This is not a zero-sum game. You know, the EU has skin in the game. There are lots of businesses which are financed out of London, and they need to change the narrative back on that. But also, I think, you know, ultimately what Theresa May needs to do is get Brexit off the front pages. Now, very difficult job, but that comes down to having a distinct domestic agenda. But at the moment, there isn't one. What does she stand for? I don't know. And, you know, there's a huge opportunity cost which is being played out here.
This is the biggest thing to happen to Britain in many generations. Why do you want it off the front page?
Because I think, you know, all you have is a lot of destabilising speculation. You do not want to be playing your hand when you're negotiating. And ultimately, to the rest of the world, we have to say, look, despite Brexit, it's business as normal here. We've got a radical domestic agenda. Come here. It's a stable country. We are progressing forward. At the moment, all we see is Brexit and a lot of destabilising speculation and splits within the cabinet and speculation about her future. And that did not play out well throughout the rest of the world.
Splits in her cabinet. Do you need to change the team to change the conversation?
I don't really, you know, she's not in a position to be able to do that. So, you know, she could have a reshuffle, but all she's going to do is annoy more people than she's going to please, and it could well trigger her downfall. I think, you know, it's much more about ideas than personnel.
Giles, fabulous to speak to you. And I would suggest that beasts like you are maybe the most important person in the conversation, not the politicians, but the people, as you said, in the Times of London doing the spin game. Just from a distance, I've been stunned at the lack of organized spin by the Conservatives in London. What's your to-do list for Britain to get the spin together, to get the message into a single loud message to Brussels and to Ms. Merkel?
Well, I think, you know, you're exactly right. They're on the back foot in the spin game. I mean, the first thing they need to do is turn the screw on Juncker and Barnier in the foreign press. As I said, it's not a zero-sum game. There are a lot of European businesses financed out of London. They want some certainty, but also countries like Japan and South Korea want some certainty. They need to put the pressure on the EU. And let's look at the EU at the moment. You know, obviously this is a huge issue, but they've also got issues like Catalonia going on. They need to sort these things out. So that's the first thing. Secondly, look, ultimately, the UK did vote for Brexit. OK, it was quite a narrow margin. But they need to mobilise public sentiment in this country and say, look, you know, these are the reasons why we voted, and get back on the front foot. But at the moment, as I say, we're being very, very defensive.